I mentioned that amidst all of the discrepancies or the discussions on dosages, the best thing that we can do is fill the formula and look at it. Here what I have is ma huang tang filled in two different possibilities. Here in my left hand is ma huang tang filled as we find it in the formulas book. Here in my right hand is ma huang tang filled with 15 grams per liang. The first thing that I want to point out is that in both of these we have 70 pieces of xingren. We end up with a little bit of a conundrum when we discuss dosages, but we keep some of the things the same. So for instance, in guizhitang it'll say 12 dates. And so 12 dates is 12 dates is 12 dates. And if you do 3 grams per liang, you still end up with that ratio with 12 dates. Or if you do 15 grams per liang, you end up with that ratio plus 12 dates. Here, our kind of standard or our measurement that hasn't changed is 70 pieces of xingren. Now in the Bensky book, it does give us a gram possibility. So we could choose to not count out 70 xingren pieces and we could just weigh them. And certainly depending on the xingren that you get, that may be a better bet. You can see here our xingren is really quite plump and it's the whole kernel. In the past, I've had xingren that has been very finely sliced and didn't look quite as, not as much like a snack. But what's important is here we have 70 grams of xingren and 70 grams of xingren. And we can see that in this one, the ratio of the xingren here is more, looks like more than the ma huang, more than the guizhi, and maybe triple the amount of the gansao. And that may be very appropriate for your patient. But in terms of just simple ratios, we only have 4 herbs here, and yet our warm, acrid, and bitter substance that's going to really break the surface is not a significant amount. Here we have 15 grams per liang. So we have 45 grams of ma huang, we have 30 grams of guizhi, we have 70 pieces of xingren, and then we have 15 grams of zhigansao. And I would say certainly I have had what I would call a shanghan of being really, really cold and shivering and sick enough and afraid of cold enough to the variety that I would expect is what Zhang Zhongjing was talking about in the Shanghanlin. And when I took this, I definitely noticed my heart was increased in rapidity, but I didn't suddenly notice the surface blocking. And I didn't die from this much ma huang. So that's important to note. But I would definitely gravitate to this when I was that sick, when I was that cold, shivering with all of the clothes on, a bed heater on my bed, and 2 blankets on my bed, and still just absolutely cold. Obviously, I probably should have added foods at that time to fix that.